Jai Sri Ram, everybody. Welcome. Today, here we are with Sharma ji too, who is from Canadian Hindu Chamber of Commerce from the organization. And also, just to give you Vinay ji and Preeti ji, welcome, from Toronto. And also, just to give you some background, their dad has started and nurtured the Hindu Heritage Temple, Mississauga Hindu Heritage Temple, and doing a fabulous job of spreading Sanatan around. And the temple is very welcoming place. And this was one of the temple which was attacked and robbed also. So, he's from Hindu Chamber of Commerce, and also we will able to get more about this subject being an affected party here, So anyway, welcome everybody. Okay, yeah, quickly I will start with Sharma ji here. Then we will come on, right? Just to kind of give us some idea about, there is a lot of targeted attack in Canada right now on the Hindu temple, all in the name of we are peaceful secular country. Right? Yours is not the only one. There are multiple Hindu temples that have been attacked. In fact, we are going to put out a list here, that was prepared by VHP in Canada, that how many temples have been attacked. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, go ahead, Sharma ji.
Yeah, so I think it's the first time in Canadian history that so many temples have been broken into in such a short time. So it's an unprecedented event that we saw so many places of worship attacked in one time. Yeah, so I'm saying this is the first time that so many temples in such a short period of time have been sort of targeted. And it's unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this in Canadian history. And the most surprising thing is that despite this whole thing being it's quite publicized now, these perpetrators, they haven't stopped. This past week, 2 temples were targeted. So this thing, it's continuing on, and I'm hoping that, and we're all hoping that these culprits will be caught as soon as possible.
Yeah, yes, it is a hate attack. What do you, just can you give some idea about, because I know that some of, jihadis and Khalistanis and some other anti-Hindu elements are pretty prevalent in Canada, where they roam free.
I mean, it's difficult to say, but right now, as we know, it's that places of worship are being specifically targeted, right? And
not space. Okay, please to fix it. It's not all the places of worship. It is the Hindu places of worship.
Yeah. I mean, there's a very specific target. I don't think there's anything about that. They're very specifically, right? And this past week we saw 2 more temples, right? I'm not sure if you know. So Ram Mandir, they were targeted. Fortunately, there's been a lot of communication, so they took very good precautions. So they had a security system that they recently had in place, and because of that prevented that. And then Bharat Mata temple, there was a break in there, and that one was successful. So it's quite clear where the target is, and how this thing it's continuing.
What do the police say? Do they act at all, or they are kind of silent?
I'm gonna say the police, we've had good communications. We've heard the right things from them. They've made multiple visits after to Hindu Heritage Center, they made multiple visits after the incident, and they've reassured that we have specific people working on this. So they've said the right things. Let's hope it translates into results. So the PO police, it looks like they are working on it, but let's see what happens.
And one quick question, not to put anybody down, that Brampton has so-called a few Hindu MPs, MLA, MPPs too. Do they take this issue at all, or they are busy with their own thing because they don't want to offend anybody?
Well, we know there's lots of MPs and MPPs. After this thing has taken over this like mainstream news, we have seen support from everyone. They've all tweeted out. Even when the incidents happened, we had a couple of MPPs reach out to us. So they were in contact with us. And they did give us some resources, like there's a new grant available for places of worship, so we were given that. So it's an unprecedented event, right? First time, such a short period of time, so many temples, right? It's the first time something like this has happened. So it's been a different type of response that we're getting.
Okay, Sharmaji, the minority community today in Canada feels unsafe, feared, with the places of worship being attacked very targetedly, especially the Hindu community. Yeah. So, do these MPPs do they take it this agenda in their concerned sessions and they talk about it at all? Do they
We're gonna
care
find out
about the
now, right?
safety of the minorities in Canada anymore?
What, what we're getting from the MPPs is just a grant, right? So that's what we're getting, reassurance. And there's a special grant. I think it's around $10,000 to each place of worship that's sort of affected, and they
Oh,
get
close your
monthly
mouth.
charity.
Shut your mouth, Grant.
I'm not sure, but it is beneficial, right? I'm gonna say it is beneficial. Like $10,000, we can
No, no,
reduce
but
the
in
severity quite a bit,
beneficial.
right?
But so let us assume $8,000 mine got robbed and I got 10,000. I'm going to
Yeah.
keep quiet. But what is the community going through? The heartbreak the community going through. You know how it is unsafe for the minorities even to live in Canada. Yeah, Vinayji, think about it. Okay, you have a brown skin, right? I hope so. Brown skin, and you don't wear any particular topi or any headgear, you know, and so you are a minority community in Canada, so we don't care for you. You get targeted, you get attacked, but nobody talks about it. PM is sitting hiding still. What do you say about it?
Namaste ji, thank you for the opportunity. So I just want to bring up one important point here. The Canadian media, I'm talking about the big names like the CBC and CTV and those CP24. None of them have highlighted this issue. None of them. In fact, when I had to do some research on this, I hit most of them. The ones that I came across were all the Indian media like Republic World, Hindustan Times, Economic Times, and a small number of these little newspapers and media that is
Because in Canada you don't matter, Vinayji.
Exactly. I totally agree with you, because we don't matter. And I think that this has become, it's not become a big deal for any of these MPPs or even the police, right? The funny thing about the police, they actually came and said that they announced that this is not a hate crime based on the evidence gathered so far. However, the only good thing that apparently that came out of the preliminary investigation is that all these robberies were carried out by the same individuals, which means we have to ask a few questions. Why only Hindu temples? Why by the same gang? Why are they desecrating and vandalizing the places of worship in their attempt to steal? Why not mosques? Why not gurudwaras? Why not churches? They too have a lot of donations in their premises. So these questions come up, and nobody has an answer for this.
Well, regarding Canadian police, I want to say you something. Okay, some of the good guys are there inside. There, no offense to all. Okay, there was a bomb blast in Bombay Bell, right? What is that? The restaurant, the Bombay Bell, yes. And they are still finding the culprit out. He went through the same CCTV cameras and gone. And of course, it was not a terror attack. It was just a minor this thing, because it just happened in the brown skin area. Where you don't have a topi, you don't have a headgear, you are just a nobody in Canada. Is that right, Sharmaji? Is that right? Who are you? You don't have a topi, your name is not starting with some special characters, So, who are you? You are nobody. Okay? What do you say, Preeti ji?
Namaskar, and I am really not happy at all during last few days, because I'm hearing every few days there is another robbery in the temples, and they are targeting all Hindu temples, which has so much of wealth in the form of jewelry and other things as well. It's not just the donation boxes, right? Maybe donation boxes are one of the things which probably every community places, worship places might have, but the jewelry you will only find in Hindu temples. So that is one of the points. And another point I would say that it's really unfortunate, and it should not have happened, and it should not be happening in future. And police must take some strong steps to figure out, because one thing is very clear: when the same people are robbing off all these temples, that means, and you know what, I have seen those pictures of those two people, and one of them is very prominently, you can recognize, like if that person is in front of me, I am able to recognize. That type of pictures are available on like on a few of news lines. So then why is the police not able to figure out who they are? Because everybody's picture is saved in the police, like in the system of our Canadian IDs and all that. So why are they not able to figure out that, like, who are these people, first of all? And they don't look like any. They don't. I mean, this is my personal opinion, but one of them has very light eyes and looks like a white guy. He may not be a white guy. He may be from some other places, but apparently he looks like a white guy. So my point is, why police is, what I can see, why police is not able to see, one thing. And second thing is, they are targeting Hindu temples because they are successful to get into Hindu temples, because most of the Hindu temples never had a security system which will go on, like the moment you break in, it has to go on. That type of security system probably Hindu temples doesn't have, thinking that we are safe and we are in India. So one thing is, we are not in India, first of all. Second thing is, we are a minority in Canada. And third thing is, don't forget, there is a Hindu hate going on
And
in Canada.
it is purposefully infested by
Yes.
the government.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Sorry?
The Hindu hate is purposefully being sown by the government.
Yes, absolutely. Because like you can see that, like when the universities can have some kind of agenda, and they can have a Hindu hate topic in the discussion. Just imagine, like, what type of things are going on in Canada. You should understand. So there is no doubt about that there is a Hindu hate going on in Canada, very clearly.
Absolutely. Vinayji, question to you.
I just want to make one quick point.
Go ahead.
What VTG brought up. This is happening with Hindu temples. But had this happened within any other community, like let's say mosques were looted, or churches were looted, or gurudwaras were looted, the Canadian media would not have just sat behind, or the politicians would not have just taken a step.
Yes, but reason, do you know the reason behind it? Because we are never called a Shanti Priya people, but we are actually the Shanti Priya people. Right?
Yeah, we are.
We need to react to these things. We Hindus,
you
you are sitting at your home, I am sitting at my home, maybe we are discussing this thing. But are we able to go on the roads and block the roads and
Go.
Absolutely.
are we able to stop the system?
Absolutely.
No, we are not able to do that. Because we are very disciplined. We are kind-hearted, and we are good people. So we don't stop anyone working from working or going to
But
places.
Sharma ji,
That is the reason we don't get any kind of importance.
absolutely. Sharma ji, let's put couple of facts here. Okay. We exposed how, you remember, we did a sting on the Peel police, okay, at Bharat Marg, and they openly supported Khalisani movements. and they were justifying why the flags were on the police car. I'm sure you saw that video. If not, we will recommend you to see that video. Okay, and also Bharat Marg exposed the home robbery where all the people's face are clear. And after 6 months of prolonging the whole thing, they said, no, 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 no. We cannot do this because the person could have come from the visitor visa and finished the robbery and gone. That's what the explanation given to us. Okay, and now you see, Sharmaji, listen to me carefully. There is a video that came in yesterday, which is doing rounds, okay, where the police is going home to home, knocking the door. Okay, it's a viral video. Many of you would have seen. Knocking the video, saying, "Oh, you know what? We saw you liking that post on Facebook, where the about the what do you call truck convoy, Freedom Convoy 2022 movement. You liked it. We want to let you know it is illegal, and we wanted to kind of come to your home and let you know. You saw that video? Any of you saw that video? It's
No.
amazing. Canadian police coming home to home to home. So the lady is asking, so you take my taxpayer money and come and knock my door and come and ask me, okay, did you like a post? Okay?
I want to make a quick comment on that.
Uh-huh.
This is draconian law. They were making a big deal about the protest that went on in India, the
Yes.
farmers' protest, and every day there was some Canadian politician, including Trudeau, actually,
Yes.
making a comment
The
about it.
video was actually
But
supporting
when
it.
it's happening here, the protest is illegal. The protest is illegal occupation, and they have to be removed, even if it has to be by the police or by the military.
No.
So they're talking about this, but in India, the farmers' protest went on for over a year,
Yes.
and the government
No,
did not.
it's a clear bias on Hindus, but
Absolutely.
same thing with Jagmeet Singh Sharmaji, same thing. He talks about mask attack. This is a Jagmeet Singh, NDP leader, who is who is Khalistani, who is banned from entering into India, because of his terrorist links. Okay, and he says, oh, you know what? The mosque was attacked, the hate and this and that. Whereas he goes to Gurudwara to worship the Kanishka Airlines bombers. This is the real Canada. If you are talking about true Canada, folks, this is the true Canada. Where you go and worship the bomb blast, the biggest terrorist attack that happened in Canada, in Canadian history. And the bomb blast picture, the people who did the bomb blast, their pictures are in Gurudwara for the people to worship. And they give us a yarn about hate and this and that. Now, Hindu lives don't matter in Canada. Hindus' properties don't matter in Canada. If they can target Hindu temples, why not Hindu homes tomorrow? You and me are safe or what? What do you say, Sharmaji?
Well, it is a serious law and order issue, right? So, like, so many temples in such a short time. Like, I think that's a point we're missing, right? Never ever have so many temples in such a short period of time been targeted. So it's very clear that something big's going on here, and I really, really hope that the police take this seriously and they're able to solve this soon. Because if not, right, we don't know what could happen in the future.
Absolutely. And Surendra Sharmaji, has come here with nothing, and he started the whole temple, serving the community and building the thing, and that is bothering many eyes today.
I think that's the other point, right? I think a very big point we're missing is if it's money stolen from the temple, that money doesn't belong to the temple, that money doesn't belong to the priest, that money belongs to the community. Why? Because the money that comes into the temple, it goes back to the community. It goes back into the community in so many different ways, right? So whether it's the pretty poj, the langars, right?
Yeah, I know. We don't advertise langar too much,
right?
but how many people eat in their temple?
Yeah, exactly. So all that money that was stolen, right? It's the people's money. It's the community's money, right? And the only people that are losing from this are the community, right? So it's not about any individual person, organization, any community. Like, it's the whole community that's losing, right? It's not an individual person. So I think it makes this crime even bigger and more worse because of the fact that you're taking away benefits to the community by doing this.
Yes, I understand your point, but here we have to learn to protect ourselves. We cannot be relying upon this police and all this. Like as I said earlier, we have to have those security cameras and all that, because anyways people are donating. So if we are donating, first invest on security part, because see, the target has been done very selectively, right? We know, and we totally oppose that, but at the same time we have to protect ourselves as well. We can't rely upon any system.
I just don't want to give out the details, Preeti ji, but I want to say you the home robbery what we have posted in Bharat Marg exposing the Canadian police. Okay, the whole robbery was done in 27 seconds. Okay, the home was wiped off, and they had all the top security cameras. They had all their pictures coming in. It means nothing. Okay, you believe me. It means nothing. Within 27 seconds, they wipe off, and Sharma ji can talk on this more.
How can somebody rob off the whole house in 27 seconds?
That's the
Honestly,
thing.
I don't know.
And their faces are clear after
27
flogging for 6
27
months.
seconds? No, I don't think so. 27 seconds is too short of time.
They
you
do.
cannot rob
You know
off
how
anything.
how many homes get robbed in Brampton alone?
No, I know that. I understand. I agree. But
For the
27
benefit of
seconds
the
are not
people,
enough.
with all the data, we will put out on this video itself. You will see it.
Yes, please.
If
please.
you are thinking that Canada is a safe place, especially safe place for
Canada,
minorities, forget about it. Okay, what do you say, Sharma ji?
Honestly, Hindus are not safe in Canada, and we have to rethink and retake a decision whether we did a right thing by moving to Canada. That is one of the main questions Hindus must ask themselves, because this is not. Listen, the government is protecting Christians because most of the government people are Christians, and this country belong to Christians. First of all, second thing is government is bringing in so many people from other countries which are having tokens and all those things, and they are their vote bank just like in India, so they are supporting them as well. So where are we left? We are the only people who are vulnerable in this country.
Absolutely. Let's wind off. Okay, Sharma ji, your last thoughts.
It's a serious law and order issue that's sort of developed, and it's very, very serious, right? Hopefully it will be solved, because if it doesn't, it could move on, right? Homeowners, businesses, we don't know what the next move could be. This targeting, it's completely heinous, and it's unbelievable what they've done, and it has to end soon, because like I said, they haven't stopped. There's been 2 other temples that were broken into last week, or 1 attempted, 1 successful. So they haven't stopped. They know the police is looking for them, but they still haven't stopped.
Oh, no, Canadian police is busy holding the flags and going and seeing who is liking the Facebook post.
Yeah, well, and then I will say it again, that PO police, they've said the right things to us. They've sent officers multiple times.
You cannot talk.
They've said the right things, but let's see it translate into results.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one last point I want to make is, recently in the United Nations, one of the Indian diplomats, T.S. Trimurti, also brought up about Hinduphobia, Hindu attacks, and whatever that's going on across the world.
You don't need to go elsewhere. Just see Canada.
Yeah, in Canada. Okay. I mean, he didn't specify Canada. He said across the globe, but this is happening in Canada in a big way. I live in a community where burglaries and robberies are happening every day, and our community is mainly people from India. Okay, I live in a community that is outside, in the Greater Toronto area, and every day, every single day, we see burglaries happening here in this area, because the people who are targeting know that these are Hindu houses. They carry jewelry. They keep cash at home. So this is happening, and this has to stop.
Thank you very much, and we will include a few videos in this. One is about the Canadian police talking about the law and order. It's a sting video. Everybody has to see that video. It was a sting done on Peel Police. Okay, and then they gave out explanation and all those things. Number 2 is robbery of the home, the whole home robbery, that link will be provided here. Please go ahead and see it in 27 seconds how the homes gets wiped off, and how the security camera means nothing. It's over promoted, under delivered. Anyway, great having you all on talking on the subject. Hope and pray that this is our appeal for the Canadian media will not consider, because we have a brown skin, and of course that's why Bharat Marg is working. We have brown skin, and we don't have typical names, and we don't have any headgear, so we may not be considered as.
You better start having one.
What is
You
that?
better start having one. Okay. If nobody notices you, you better get noticed. We are not getting noticed ourselves,
Yeah.
right? That is why these people can just have this attitude towards you and me. We better get noticed.
Absolutely. Our temples should unite and fight, and that's a goal, and so do our community. It's a left out community, second class citizens of Canada. So appealing to the government, that please protect your minority, because minority protection is the one of the major duties of the Canadian government, which it is not performing at all. And Prime Minister Saab, please come out of your hole and take care of the country. Know what is happening here.